Today, I'm going to go over some techniques with the Stasis Titan that'll make you a nightmare for the enemy team. All of these will require the Towering Barricade, because it gives better cover and also allows for more playmaking. Catapult Lift, because it gives you more verticality and lets you Titan skate. We'll also be using the Shiver Strike melee, which will be one of our main movement tools. On top of all of this, I'm using the Duskfield Grenade, because not only does it look cool, it's super functional and can be used with your melee and your barricade. Glacier Grenade is also used in a couple techniques, but there are already a couple videos out there about it, and so I'm not covering it as in depth. Here are the aspects and fragments that I recommend equipping. Now, I chose these specifically because your main goal as a Stasis Titan should be to have your abilities ready to go whenever you need them. Something to keep in mind too is that you can actually shatter enemy Glacier Grenades, which can be used to charge your own grenades and melee ability because of the two aspects that you have. Now we'll look at the build. Obviously I'm using Stasis Titan, but here are the primaries that I use. Here are the special weapons. Mainly these two. Here's the heavy weapons. I actually have the wrong ghost equipped here, so I switch it. And this is my artifact. And here I'm just showing you the stat distributions of my armor and the overall stat total. And then in a second here, I'll show you the stat split. For Titan, you don't really need to spec too much into your mobility, because high mobility makes Titan skating more difficult. My main goal when making a build for the Stasis Titan was that I wanted to be as mobile as possible and be able to use my abilities as much as possible. The first technique is just a simple slide into your melee attack, but it's surprising because it covers a lot of distance. In addition to this, your slide and melee actually go in different directions depending on where you aim them. So this allows you to slide in one direction and then quickly melee in the opposite direction. Another great utility with the melee is using it to get behind cover as quickly as possible. This next technique is known as the Super Bounce, and it lets you get a huge amount of air, which is great for increasing the travel distance of your melee. I call this next technique the Snow Shield. By popping a barricade and then throwing your snow globe nade at the back of it, you can actually pull enemies straight into the middle of your barricade, which will instantly get them down to 1 HP. Let's see some of the stuff being applied in a real match. This is a game on Cauldron, where I use some of the tips, but not all of them. I've also included some text in the upper right corner that will show you my thought process as I'm playing, as well as some extra tips. So, looking at the beginning here, I throw this snow globe nade right through that little gap there, and that completely blocks off that doorway for the enemy team immediately after they capture that A flag, and I know that they have to push down this tunnel here. Unfortunately, I get stuck between two guys, and then they throw a nade, but I'm able to use my melee to get out of there quickly and alive. In this clip, I messed up the barricade's placement, but hopefully you can see what I was trying to do here. Here I'm using the basic 180 trick with the slide and the melee that I showed at the beginning, but here there's an added element of verticality. This clip actually shows the importance of the Titan barricade and how it can extend cover. So right here I get frozen, and I turn around and I see a shotgun and a sniper on the stairs. So I make my way to the cover on the left because I see on the radar that an enemy could shoot me if I stuck to the right. And the wall here was actually damaged by my barricade, so it was an easy cleanup. At this point, I know that I'm getting attacked by one guy, but it's not until I turn around that I see there's two. So I pop a barricade to split up the engagements into two 1v1s, but unfortunately the last guy takes me out. I run into this room thinking that it's just the hunter, but immediately take damage from the left. And so instead of taking on the gunfight with the hunter, I turn into the tunnel and I use a barricade to cut off the guy that's chasing me. Another thing to note is that I actually use the snow shield technique here, and it pulls this aping titan into my barricade and just makes him an easy kill. Now I'm running to the C flag to try and avoid the guy that's chasing me, but I saw that he got tagged by the barricade on his way in, and so I ducked back into the tunnel, and yeah, I do the titan thing. This is a terrible idea, because if the golden gun had seen me, he would have easily killed me. I throw a snow globe at the hunter to try and make him rotate, and it works, but he counters with his own cold snap nade, which my barricade actually blocked. I set up in the same exact spot, but since I don't have a shotgun or a snow globe nade, I just try and double punch and it ends up working out. Now I'm just checking my radar and looking for any threats coming in. I pop another barricade just to get my empowered buff, and I finish it off here with a lucky snipe. That's it for now, but if anyone in the community makes a discovery about the subclass, or if I do, I'll be sure to put out a part 2 to this video. Feel free to leave any questions that you have down below.